I'd like to think I'm pretty good at a bargain. I'm scouring Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, all that sort of stuff. And I found an absolute bargain not long ago. I found 13 graphics cards for $30. I picked them up. I didn't check what they were on purpose. I don't know how good or bad they are. And so I want to do a video just checking out what cards I got. I only know what one of them are. Just checking out what cards I got, all that sort of stuff. Seeing if any of them can do things like game or actually be useful. And we'll see how we go. Here's the old box. There's only 12 in there right now because I had to use one card that I already knew what it was in a different project for this video. We've got it all wrapped up. Let's take it out of the box and see what we've got. In the end, these are the cards that we've got. More duplicates than I thought there would be. We had 5 of these. As I said, I used one in a different project. But 5 9500 GTs. We've got 5 of this card, which I haven't looked into what it is. 1 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of these. Let's get the 9500s out of the way, because I already know what they are. And let's do some benchmarking and see if we can game. Got the first card in. Let's boot up the test bench and see if it posts a visual. Wait to see if it posts a visual. Does it? The fan spun to life. This card's got both DVI and VGA. Let's try VGA. We do not seem to be getting a visual. As far as I'm aware, we might have a dead card here. This card doesn't seem to be working. Huh. Let's get the next one of the same type of card. The next card is in. I know it looks the same, but the next card is in. Let's power on the system. Our fan spins to life again. This time a lot louder. After screwing with it a little bit, I actually managed to get that first card that I tried to boot. I don't know what I did different. I did a few things like reset the BIOS, but it's working now. It is not working. That is not meant to happen. Let's try the other signal. Because I've got both VGA and... What's it connected to at the moment? Is it VGA? Okay. So the VGA is not working at all. And the DVI produced that. I think we can consider this a dead card. Let's go back and try number 2 again. Okay, card number 2. Let's see if we can get you to post. For this one, all the standard error lights and everything are off, so I can definitely tell it's posted. But it's not outputting a visual. So once again, probably a dead card. I'd like to clarify, because I've already had one of these and used it. That one card does work. It had a broken VGA slot, but the DVI works perfectly fine. Yep, dead card. Let's try number 3 of this same card. I have plugged in the third card. This one, the fan doesn't even spin to life. So my hopes are not very high. Yeah, this fan's not spinning. I'm not holding out hope. I think... Yeah, I've left it for a fair while. Let's move on to the next card. The last 9500 GT is now plugged in. Let's see if we can get a signal from at least one of these. We've got visuals! Now let's let it get into Windows, make sure it's not completely corrupted like that other one. She works! She actually works! Let's download a few drivers and do some benchmarking. We've officially installed all the drivers and everything. It all seems to be working. Let's run 3D Mark. Yep, we got the 1 GB of VRAM. NVIDIA GeForce 9500 GT, 550 MHz. 3D Mark available is CloudGate. So let's run that. CloudGear is running now. 3147 on CloudGate. Everything looks pretty good. The CPU is definitely going to be bottlenecked by the GPU and like everything. But let's see if we can play a few games. First, let's try something much older than the card. That should be pretty well optimized for it. Sonic Adventure 2. Launching Sonic Adventure 2 at 720p. Sonic Adventure, running at 60 FPS with the GPU at 20%, So yeah, 60 FPS, GPU is at like 19%. Even when we're moving, got cars flying about, it seems like the GPU's handling it very well. It's not having any issues at all. It's a very light game to run. Sonic Adventure essentially runs very well, no issues. Portal 2, which came out a few years after this graphics card, is running at about an average of 40 FPS. But you can definitely feel that this is slow. Yeah, I can definitely feel the frame drops on this one. So look, it runs it, and it runs it playably, I'd say. But on default Portal 2, it's running at about an average of 40 to 30 frames. Now a lot of my other test benching games I couldn't get to run if I tried. Like I've got Fortnite, or I've got Assassin's Creed Unity, or Just Cause 4. But something lighter that's still pretty modern is I'm going to be launching Minecraft. It's running Minecraft at an average of 30 frames to 40 frames per second. It's getting, for the most part, a good 60 or so, but anytime it's rendering something in, rendering new chunks or anything like that takes yonks, and the frames drop significantly while it's happening. Yeah, it's managing to stick around to 60 FPS, but is very slow in rendering new chunks and stuff like that. Which is pretty impressive. As I haven't lowered the settings right. My verdict for this card, it'll do basic office work. If you wanted just a basic office PC, maybe a few light games, it'll get the trick done. But if you want anything that's going to play some good games, this isn't the card for you. Let's move on to the next card. Remembering there should be 2 there, I have now tested the 5 EVGA 9500 GT cards. 3 of them didn't work, 2 did. One of them, even though one of the working ones had a broken socket. And next, we're going to deal with the other bulk lot of 5, also by EVGA, that I have no information about, before finally tackling the 3 random ones. The next card is in, but before we start it up, I've found on the back it says it's a GeForce 8400 GS with 512 megabytes of DDR2 RAM. Let's boot up the test bench and see if this one actually works. Test bench started. The fan has started. Do we get visuals? Let's download a few drivers and do some test benching. 3D marks up. Let's run the same benchmark and see what the score is. Once again, CloudGate. On CloudGate, we got 936. Didn't even break 1,000 this time. This graphics card is definitely far slower. So let's test bench it in a few games. I expect it'll still run Sonic Adventure 2. It's not a hard game to run. It released in 2001. Yeah. Okay, usage on the opening cutscene, usage is up to like 60%. It's rising fast actually. When there's a lot happening on screen, there's a few frame dips. Yeah, the usage is up to like 83 to 90%. The average frame rate is still about 60. It's 55, but there's definitely a few drops. But it does run Sonic Adventure 2, but that's kind of the bare minimum for most of these cards, I'm assuming, because, yeah, as I said, released in 2001. It's getting about 20 to 15 FPS. This is not a very playable experience. It doesn't look horrible, admittedly. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look horrible. But you could probably do a little bit better if you turn down some settings, but okay, this is playable. It's averaging 20 FPS. It's definitely playable, but it's not a good experience by any means. I'd like to clarify, all the Minecraft testing has been done on 1.19.3, which is the latest version. So it's not like I'm playing an old version of Minecraft. If I'm going to be honest, this card I would recommend pretty much just for maybe office work at most. Or even something like a server, which you just need an output to be able to monitor things. But if you want to do any sort of gaming on it, I don't recommend it, unless it's very old school gaming. It's got such a baby little fan. The fan fins are such little tiny little ones. Card number 2 works. Card number 3 does not work. Card number 4 works. Finally, number 5 does not work. So far we've got 5 cards that do work, and 5 cards that don't. All we've got left are these 3 unique cards, which I'm going to be honest, my hopes are not high for. Let's try you first. They really didn't consider cleaning this card before they sold it, did they? Crikey. 256 megabyte, wonderful, we're just getting slower. It's all plugged in. I've also realised that the VGA spokes are missing, so that's fun. Let's hit the power button. The test bench whirs to life. Do we get a visual? We don't seem to be getting anything. I can definitely feel the heatsink getting warmer. So it's definitely getting power, but no signal. Another dead card. Let's try this one next, because I think this is our only AMD card. So let's get this one done. Hopefully it works. Next card's plugged in. Got a double-sided heatsink, no fan. Test bench is on. Do we get a video signal? We do! I know we didn't get the drivers, but I'm counting that as a success. So including the one I've already used, that's 6 successful cards and 6 failures, which means it's all coming down to this, whether I got scammed or not. Because I bought this bulk on eBay, and it didn't advertise as not working. So please work. Now I will say, I'm going to get dodgy for this. They're using mini display ports, right? I'm not running on a Linus Tech Tips budget, so all I've got is a VGA and DVI monitor. And so, I didn't want to buy an extra adapter. So I got a VGA to HDMI adapter, right? Because I already had that. I also bought a mini display port to HDMI adapter from my local Kmart for like $2. And it's going to be stringing together adapters, and just hopefully it works. What's the worst that could happen? We've got our dodgy set of adapters all hooked up. Let's turn on the test bench and pray. Do we get a visual? It doesn't look like we're getting a visual. And with that, we don't get a signal. I'm gonna, like I've done with the other cards, I'm gonna do a few things like reseat it and stuff, but my hopes aren't holding high. So after tinkering with a few things, like even having a second graphics card in there, I can tell you that it's coming up on Windows, right? It's being recognized by Windows, but it's not giving an output. So I'm thinking that the adapters are the problem. So this card is in the maybe pile. So in the end, we've got 6 cards that are definitely working. We've got 1 which might be working, and 6 cards that definitely aren't working. Which, admittedly, is a half-half ratio at the moment. But I remind you that the seller did not list them as potentially broken. They listed as the bulk 13 graphics cards on eBay. So I'm not sure that I'm happy with that result. If 6 of them are working, it's still the equivalent of a card for $5 per card, which is pretty damn good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a lot of fun checking out the bulk graphics cards I bought. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. I'm a small channel that's pretty much just started, so it would help out a ton. And if you've got anything you want to see me do with either the working or the not working cards, comment it down below. I hope to see you for another video. See you later.